everyone, my name is Cristina Manfredi. I'm a journalist. I'm someone who started talking about sustainability issues in the fashion system a few years ago when it was not that popular. So I'm not saying I'm an expert, but let's say at least I'm someone who's quite, involved with the thing. The reason we're here today is the social value of creativity. It's actually a huge title for a talk, so we're going to try to make it quick and exciting and fun at the same time. And the reason why we're trying to discuss with my guests, which I'll be introducing to you in a minute, is that we're trying to basically inspire people to embrace sustainable practices in their business. And the gentleman here and the other two gentlemen who will be with us online, I think that they're proving that this is not only possible, but it's profitable. We believe that creativity genuinely impacts on our social environment. And that impact is generating a positive reaction not only to the people who are connected with that, but to the business itself. So I'm not the star of the show, so let's introduce my guests who are much more interesting than I. So we have Tammy Schweikler.
Perfect.
Who's the CEO and founder of Makers Unite and United Repair Center. Then we have connected online Elia Maria Carfagnini, co-founder and chief marketing officer, and Ettore Maria Carfagnini and Elia Maino, co-founder and chief technology officer of Revive. They're joining us online because they're busy with their Revive Upcycling Festiva at La Casem in Paris. And we have Mauro Benincasa, the CEO of HQFood Beverage. And if you think that food and fashion are not connected, well, you're wrong, because you have lots of things to share. So here we are. Let's start with Tammy. I would like all of you guys to introduce yourselves, because I think it's much more exciting, and we're not wasting too much time since we have a tight schedule. So, Tammy, what's Makers Unite and what's United Repair Center? There are two different things. Can you explain me a little bit about that? Can you explain all of us a little bit about that?
Correct. Well, we're a social enterprise that uses sustainable fashion and innovation to foster social inclusion of refugees and marginalized populations. And we work together with brands to develop sustainable solutions and mostly to create brand value for brands by becoming more sustainable. So we develop clothing productions, we have our own garment facility productions, we also develop consumer repair programs for brands, and this is developed together with Patagonia. Yeah. And we use the know-how of Patagonia now as an open book to go and talk to new brands and brands there on the market for a long time, to raise the question, how can it become more sustainable and how this can become a viable solution for brands. And at the end of the chain, where we get our people with a valuable job, so get refugees to have the opportunity to restart their lives, we have the community that gets engaged, and we get a win-win-win situation.
So it's two different companies, right? But what's the philosophy line behind both of them? I mean, you said helping refugees getting a job, helping companies to understand what they can do to repair, not just to produce. On a larger scale, what would you say? I mean, what's really the vision that you have?
Yeah, well, our vision is, if I close my eyes, I think 25 years from now, I wish that the fashion sector realizes the possibility that they have to create change in the world. So the ability of fashion to rethink their model and create inclusion by being sustainable. So what we do is we creating this opportunity for newcomers. Is also creating an opportunity for the local community. So we have, for instance, half of our employees is Dutch or expats, and half of our employees are newcomers. And this is new economic activity. So we really believe that it's really important for the sector and governments and countries to realize that refugees are not a burden to society, but they're a great asset. There's a lot of talent, and this talent needs an opportunity to be realized into cultural value, social value, and ultimately economical value. And this happens the same for the brands. The more brands realize that sustainability is not a complicated add-on in their business model, but should be really at the core of what they do, you realize that the value creation is so big that is bringing brands to think differently. And mostly we're focused on circularity and what is the circular economy meaning to brands. For instance, in the Netherlands alone, we have a goal of becoming 50% circular by 2030, and by 2050 to be 100% circular in our business models. So what does it mean for brands today? It really means that sustainable brands, fashion brands, they have to restructure the business model. They have to think on new ways of producing. They have to think on new services beyond the production process and integrating this into their business model. So this is what we do. We work together with the brands to do.
We say that you're creating connections. You share, connections with the people and also the knowledge on how to make this thing happen. Could we say that?
Correct, absolutely. So we have the opportunity, especially in July this year, we launched a company called United Repair Center. You can see here, together with Patagonia, and Patagonia is a brand that we all have seen 2 weeks ago. Yvon Chouinard gave $3 billion to Earth, and there's no brand in the world that can expose such a strong ethos. And what we did is to talk to Patagonia and say, now we want to use your model to create social inclusion, and we want to use this plan to bring to other brands, because no one's going to save the world alone. So the opportunity that we have here is to leverage on their blueprint on sustainability and talk to brands and say, okay, how do you do this now inside the brand? So we launched it just since July. We're launching a program together with Scotch and Soda, which is an official partner already, and we launched now upcycling collection with CNA, which is a massive change if you look at the size of the businesses. And we're talking to a lot of sizable brands about their sustainability strategy. Mostly, how can they change their business model for good?
So, which are the companies that you think should really join you? I mean, if you had to convince, the big companies to join you, what would you say? And what do you think it's the real? What's the thing that really makes the difference in approaching fashion like this?
I think it's really important at this moment. They will create a ripple effect. This is, for instance, what is happening when a brand joins us. We get a massive follow-up on the media. They look, wow, this is so true. And brands are afraid of making big steps on sustainability today because of backlash.
Of course.
There are big complex supply chains, and then sometimes you don't know yourself where your clothing is now being produced. And the repair opportunity offers to them a new connection to the end consumer. So what we do is basically we connect the end consumer when literally you have your clothing and you send it to repair, and we connect this through technology back to the end consumer. So brands can tell for the first time to the end consumer what are they doing for them. As you know, the opportunity that brands have today to connect to the consumer are very scarce. Due to privacy, due to competition, due to the speed of TikTok. I don't know. I'm not a tech guy. But the repairs are very valuable moments when the client is asking something to the brand. So the client is telling the brand, hey, can you repair this for me? And at the moment they repair, we connect the production line to the platform, to the end consumer, and the brand say, I am repairing a jacket. Mohammed is going to start sewing this now. By the way, do you know that we're doing this campaign about polar bears in the Arctic? And you can bridge this message too. So what it takes to brands today is a lot of daring. Brands to dare to innovate, they have to dare to be sustainable, and they have to dare to have this on the core of their business. And what we need now is brands that are really there, and because this is going to lead the sector to think differently about production, to create value about the clothing that we use, and especially, if you see here in sustainable white, it's really what is happening to brands today and the end consumer. is all about creating value. All about creating value for the items that we use and re-bringing this, what fast fashion has done to the world in the last 20 years. We really want to bring a new perception to the garment.
Of course.
And a really new relationship between the consumer and the garment.
The garment itself.
The brand is a middle for this to happen.
Super. Love that picture.
Yeah, this is a little bit a picture of our team based in Amsterdam. We have a studio now that employs roughly 20 people on the production line. And we are having a go in the coming 3 years to expand to 150 people. We are starting new hubs now out of Amsterdam. So Milan is also a focus of work for us. And the ethos for us is really this. This is a mural that is done by an artist that work also together with Patagonia on a sustainable denim panel. Yeah. And is participating the opportunity to repair unity. So we really believe that fashion and the fashion sector really believe that it's broken and needs to be repaired.
Yeah, but it can have a purpose. I mean, absolutely. I think it's exciting to see that fashion has now a great chance to become meaningful, really meaningful, not just for the clothes itself.
Yeah, we see three things happening at this moment. The end consumer is fully aware of what brands are doing, very critical about it. So brands really need to make an honest step towards sustainability, because brands are not doing this, they're going to lose market share. We see the employees of the brands as well. It's really difficult for you to keep employees if the brand doesn't have value. We really have a lot of designers that knock on the door and say, I worked 25 years in the fashion industry, I cannot do this anymore. They need brands that really stand for the values. And we see the government changing. The legislation in Europe is moving very fast towards circularity.
Hopefully,
and the responsibility of the consumer, the producers, is a top priority.
Super. Okay, Ettore and Elia, are you with us, guys?
Hello.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao. How are you doing?
Ciao.
Is it festival or festival? What? I'm afraid festival. How's it going?
Very, very well. So we are connected from Paris. We are in this amazing place called La Caserne, which is a huge accelerator for companies in sustainable fashion, brands, and startups. And we have been organizing this festival for 2 days now, yesterday and today, where we brought together 25 emerging upcycling brands to showcase and sell their creations in this amazing space.
Okay, but wait. Can you explain me exactly what is Revive? I mean, not just a festival. What's the whole thing? What's the concept behind?
Absolutely. So Revive is the largest platform entirely dedicated to upcycling designers. We are a community of more than 100 brands, spread a little bit all across Europe. And we're a platform and a place where we want to help in any way these emerging brands to thrive, to kind of find their way through the fashion industry. Since we really believe that upcycling, especially for smaller brands, can really become the future in terms of how you produce and you imagine clothes by building, by creating new products out of what's already there, instead of embracing the traditional kind of production way. So we launched just 1 year ago. We're a very young startup, and
you're in Paris, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we really Can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead, please. Yes.
And so we started as an online business, the kind of Zalando for the upcycling. And during this year, we became much more. We are now a platform where we actually support upcycling brands across the whole value chain, from production to distribution to marketing initiatives like the festival we just organized, to opportunity for these small brands to partner with larger fashion companies and kind of really make an impact in the industry.
Okay, but I have a question for you, because I'm part of the fashion crowd, and I know that many of my colleagues, they believe that upcycling projects are very noble, but not really profitable, especially for big brands. Do you truly believe that in the future, I mean, I mean, I'm talking about big brands can really develop some sort of upcycling strategy. I mean, serious one, like really reusing their pieces. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. That's definitely the biggest challenge for upcycling. I think what Tommy showcased with Patagonia, it's a good example. Of course, like Patagonia, it's already, as we said, probably one of the most sustainable brands. But what we're doing is really trying to figure out together with the industry how this can be done at scale. We're already collaborating with a few very large fashion groups. I cannot tell the name yet because the deal is not public yet. But what we're trying as Revive is really to work with the non-sustainable brands to kind of to help them as well, kind of figure out how they can include upcycling processes in their current production flow. And the results so far are going well. We will be launching the first pilot with a large fashion group in the next few months, and we really believe that it can be done at scale. Of course, there's a lot of pushback still from the industry, but things are moving. And I agree with you that actually, like, upcycling can be a real change only if it's not just restricted to something novel but not scalable. But if actually companies embrace it as a real alternative in their production processes, and this is what we're testing out at the moment.
Thinking about big brands, when we're talking about upcycling, you mean using fabrics which have been used maybe in the previous seasons, or literally getting garments unsold and rebuild them? What do you think it's the right way to make it happen? And I mean for the big brands, because I know that if you're small, you have the liberty and the chance to make it, in a freer way. But how about the big brands? I mean, how is it really going to
Yeah,
happen?
yeah. For big brands, there's a huge issue about like unsold stocks, as you said. Um, for us, like this is where at the moment upcycling can really be a solution. Many companies definitely overproduced a lot in the past 3 decades. So the world has already so many garments like that have been produced and not been sold, and upcycling can be a way for these brands to kind of don't forget these clothes and try to
So you're really working on
use
the
them
actual piece.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
exactly.
I see. And I have a big question for you. Do you think the customers are ready for that? Do you think that a Louis Vuitton or a Prada or a Gucci customer are ready to buy? Because Patagonia, it's Patagonia, okay? The vision they have and the customers, they're kind of ready, I think, for that. But how about, someone who's buying a Chanel bag? Do you think they're ready for that? How do you feel? And if not, how long is it going to take for them to be ready?
But here, at least in Paris, we are starting really to have like a good feeling about having this type of customers ready to embrace upcycling. That was one of the things we wanted even to validate with initiatives like the festival we've been having here. We are seeing that the kind of audience that comes here to kind of like that likes, that buys upcycling is it's farther it's not close to it's farther than the audience that usually buys vintage, for instance, and closer to the audience that looks for luxury. Um, Upcycling, like especially for small creators, it's really perceived as something that has a lot of value, and we're seeing like customers really been totally open and embracing the fact that these are products that have been like reworked in sometimes very complex way, that are handcrafted, that are closer to luxury than to fast fashion for sure. And so that the price, even the prices, are usually not an issue.
Yeah, I see. Well, thank you so much. Can you stick with us so maybe we have a chance to have some more chat a little bit? Okay? great.
Yeah.
And Mauro, your turn. Okay, Mauro, you're not dealing with fashion, right? You're dealing with food. So as I said before, I think there's a strong connection between food and fashion. They're both actually, in Italy especially, they're both pivotal for our economy. So again, I'm asking you as well to introduce yourself and explain what you're doing with Bio Kitchen and the whole project, which is part of, of the company that you're in charge of.
Okay. Hi. So I'm a founder and CEO of HQFood Beverage that owns an holding that owns different kinds of brands. One of these is High Fly Catering, the first that manage and provide catering from private jet. And this experience teaches us to have a special and complete customer-oriented vision that we have transferred also for another brand, Dream It, that connect food and beverage experience to fashion.
Yeah, because you do
because we
catering.
We are focused on fashion events, production, cinema production, or photo shooting. That and we work with a lot of company and firms in the fashion market. Then we have created to implement different sources. Hangar Q. Hangar Q is a location, but is a laboratory to implement, to create new ways to have food and beverage experience.
Okay.
And from this was born Bio Kitchen. Bio Kitchen is our green soul. Is we are trying
greener, let's say, not the only one, the greener one.
We are trying to find and to work with organic foods principle. We find a partner and creating a network with our supplier in order to have the same vision, in order to have the same value and same philosophy, and to find the right way to implement the green solution and sustainability for not only for the environment only, but also for the gender, also for the generation. You have to know that in our management, we have the 60% of our management are women, for example, and the average age is 40. So we are trying to find the right
balance.
solution. Yes, the right balance. Bio Kitchen, as I explained before, we are trying to create a network. For example, now at the White Show, we are working in partnership with Alcenero. Alcenero is the most important brand for organic foods in Italy. And also we support some company that have a special look on the sustainability and social responsibility.
Yeah.
For example, we have a partner here, Amatrice Terra Viva, is a part of the Bio District, organic bio district in Amatrice that, as you know, had a lot of problems with the stock, with
a very bad earthquake. Yeah.
And also we support the women in coffee. The 70% of the total workers in coffee chain are women, and this network support them with the special ideas and support. Bio Kitchen is focused on this kind of cooperation branding.
You repeated a lot the word creating connection, and I think that's a way to be creative. I mean, creativity is not only designing a beautiful garment, but also being creative in creating connections. How do you feel from your experience? How did creativity impact in social responsibilities, impacted on your business? I mean, how did you actually see it? Because the thing is that we're here to discuss about all these beautiful things, but we're trying to make people say, okay, I want to do it. You know, if he did it, I can do it as well. So is there any story, any particular thing that you can tell us about these topics?
It's not so simple to explain in a few words our philosophy and in our company we have 3 words that distinguish us: commitment, ambition, and creativity. What our mission is to find the right link from creativity to social responsibility. Creativity is also to create a recipe, also to create an event, no? So, and we try to find this link from our work and the social responsibility connected to the creativity. We create new recipes. We are trying to find a new process, a new technology to satisfy these needs, because now the social responsibility and it's a need.
Yeah,
Not
of course.
Yes, and it's not a luxury. It's a need now. So in our experience, we have found a lot of connected from us and our customer to find together and to explain, to tell a story, no? The story of our products, because we have found the
explaining
recipe.
to the
Yes,
customers,
explain.
it's something that really works.
I think the most important thing the most important match that we found with creativity and social responsibility.
Okay, and what would you say to an entrepreneur who's not really convinced on taking this path? I mean, what would you say? And actually, this question might work with you for you guys as well. I mean, what would you say practically? I mean, okay, you're all describing what you're doing, which is very inspiring, but you meet the regular businessman, suit and tie, and you have to say, you know what?
For me now, to give a reply to this answer is simple and clear, because every coin you put on creativity and implement and develop innovation come back with interest, absolutely. In my direct experience is like this. So I can tell to my colleague that have to invest always in innovation and creativity, because creativity is a part of life, is a part of our creativity is also a way to find the beautiful. This is another connection with fashion. So.
Which is part of our DNA as we're.
And I have found that we have a right balance to find sustainability with the economics data, financing, and environment. This is my suggestion is to invest every day on creativity and innovation.
I mean, what about you?
I really like what you mentioned, that when you invest this coin on sustainability, it pays off. This is exactly what we're telling brands. We're saying, hey, look, you have to not see sustainability as a cost. You should see this as investment on your balance sheet.
Of course.
Basically, it is very difficult for long-standing brands, big operations to become sustainable. And I think it starts in the core, by getting the leadership on board, by getting the values of the company reanalyzed and look, how can we bring sustainability to the core of the brand and then inspire this organization to change? Because
so at the end,
it's about people. You mentioned the executive with the tie. At the end, it's about getting them to feel that it's not only an obligation, but that's the only way forward. What we try to stimulate is also for companies to do the right step. And I believe in our case, for instance, when we develop a repair program or a upcycling collection, it's first getting the marketing team on board. Usually you get the sustainability manager.
That's a very good advice. That's
also because you have an advantage on the competitor. Always. Because the people ask this.
Yeah.
First get the marketing team on board, to be passionate about the idea and understand, okay, this is a great opportunity to keep our clients, our customer base very excited about the things we're doing. And second, to get new clients that we still don't have. Once the marketing team is on board, then you go to finance.
Are we still connected with the guys in Paris? Can you still hear us?
Yes, absolutely.
So how do you think?
Totally agree with what you said about marketing, especially since the fact that sometimes sustainability and initiatives like upcycling can rhyme a bit with the growth, which is something that the traditional companies and say the world economy is not so up for that, let's say. So when you know that you are kind of pushing towards a very different approach to doing business as a whole, if you're in sustainability, you are a bit in the growth, and it's key then to really like talk to the right people when you want to kind of have a larger company to follow your path. You really need to talk to the people who really want to change a bit the core values, as it was said, of their company as well. And marketing sometimes, most of the time for the moment, is the key as a first entry door.
Okay, you guys, you probably just met today, I mean, and even online, so this is a very tricky question that I'm asking you guys now. And I will start maybe with Mauro, so be prepared. From the things that you've heard from the other guys, is there any advice that you'd like to give? Maybe not an advice, is there anything from your experience that you'd like to share with the other guys? And also the question is for you guys as well. I know I'm very bad because I didn't tell them about this question. So I just like...
I don't know, so it's off the top of my mind, so I would like to share one thing.
Yeah.
Because in the past I had difficult to find the people around me that have the same vision. So we have tried to change a lot of people in the kitchen, in the marketing. But when you fix some value that the people feel real, not
consistent,
only a building, you can go ahead very fast. So my experience now with this philosophy, with new philosophy, with the BioKitchen, we have found a lot of.
So make
people,
sure you fix. Yeah.
Absolutely, you have to fix and step by step, day by day, try to find to reach your goal.
Who wants to answer next? Who's gonna go first?
I can go.
Yeah.
For me, something to share is that this year and a half, we really learned that for us, like if you're in sustainability and you really want to be in sustainability and become a sustainable brand or company, you can't compromise on that. It's very key on building a brand that customers and people can trust. It's really key to really not compromise, even if sometimes that means like turning down a very good like business opportunity. I think that it will pay in the long term to kind of fix on what our values are.
Okay, Tommy.
I think the advice that we gave is for people to really be inspired by the person you want to, 25 years from now, look back and say, I did something that really create positive change. And if you really close your eyes and think about that, it's not going to be about money or the amount of growth and material things, but it's about how would you be able to create change in your employees and your consumers and in the future.
Super. Well done. We made it.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks to all of you. Thank you so much. And keep fighting for a better future. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Pronti?
Yes.
Grazie.